Hi guys, welcome back boys and girls of YouTube. I'm Brian. You're on the BS Adventure channel. It's windy today, sorry about that. Back in North Carolina, just got back the other day. Gonna get back to work on my van. I left off, I got some finish on the floors and I'm gonna start with some other stuff. I'm gonna work on this back here today. That panel right there is rotten and I'm gonna try and replace it. So I have to pull this door, pull that panel, and kind of investigate what I'm getting into here. See if she starts. Oh, we got lights, we got fans. She goes. Chevrolet. So the box on these box fans is basically plywood, and then they put fiberglass over the inside and the outside, and that's what creates the sidewalls. Back here, this has water damage. So it looks fine on the surface because of fiberglass, but if you look, the plywood that's sandwiched is rotten. You see how soft that is? I don't know, can you see that? Anyways, this is just soft and rotten. So I'm gonna remove this section here and replace it. I have to unbolt the door. So here's the original bolts, and you can see some of the fasteners have already been replaced. I'm not sure, I might have to pop this handle off, I'm not sure. And I'm gonna have to remove these rivets. So I'm gonna have to figure these out, drill these out. I'm not sure exactly how these attach, but I'll figure it out. And I'm gonna remove that strip. So I have this piece here, it's a leftover piece when I removed the divider between the cab and the box. That was made out of that same material. So I'm gonna take a piece of that, cut that strip out and put that in. Now, this piece is longer than my replacement piece, so I'll have to seam it in somewhere. I'll figure that out as I go. I made a little alignment mark with where my door lands. That way, when I get that strip repaired and I remount the door, I can get it where I need it to be, side to side, so I get my seam nice. Because this door has an overlap. This outer door seals against, and that overlap is pretty important to not have leaks. So I want that gap to be correct. So I just gave myself a couple reference marks. So I got the fasteners out of these guys. You just got those two left, and this door will come right off. Oh shit, that's heavy. Oh. That was a little heavier than I thought. Almost took me out. The door is off, as you saw. I just took this handle off right here too. I just have to cut this bit of silicone here, and then I can pull this piece of aluminum frame or whatever off. And I'm gonna have to keep, what I figured out is I drill these and then I can hit the center with a punch and knock them out. There's some kind of a rivet. You can see how rotten this wood is when I was drilling. It just exploded. It's just nothing there. Look who it is. I got my slave labor today. My child labor.
Hello.
Got my niece Rhiannon. I got this piece of trim off finally. That was a pain in the butt. This corner had this screw in it, and that screw comes in from the top, and you can't get to it because here. So this was assembled before, and that screw went into that piece of trim. So I basically just had to hammer it apart. Now you can really see, if you look at this, see how the wood, yeah, well, it's kind of dark, but you can see the wood is just, let's see if we can get it to, it is rotten. There's nothing, there's no substance here. I got the piece loose, and I just need to cut it up there. I need to figure out where I'm gonna cut it. I haven't decided yet. But you can see there's literally no plywood left. It's just the fiberglass, and there's a bunch of this. That's the old plywood that's wet. And I pulled this piece of trim down here, and this has some rot too. See, like here, it's soft. So I'm probably gonna replace this strip across the bottom too. And then there's a piece of aluminum trim that sits on there, and that's what the door seals against.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna go on a hike.
Okay, she's excited for the hike. Well, let's put the, you want to help me put the tools away?
Yeah!
And then we'll button this up and then we can go.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay, cool.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
It's the next day, working on the van again. Par for the course. This side has some rot too, here in the middle. You can see how the hinge is kind of pulled away. It's hard to show, but this is soft. It's okay here, and it's rotten there, and then it's okay up here. So this got water behind it somewhere. Tear this side apart too, and replace this side. Start with one little repair and ends up being way more. It's just how it goes. So I'll get this door off. I tried removing these bolts and the nuts on the backside just spin. That's no bueno. I'm gonna get a grinder and grind the heads off them. I had to grind the heads of those off. That was fun. So I got this other door off. Now we're taking this piece apart. Taking that apart to make patches for all this. Took a while, but I got this piece of trim off. It's quite the bugger. Yeah, this piece is a little more rotten than I thought, so I'm glad it's coming out. These are all loose. I just have to cut the back of some of these guys off. But I want to take a measurement on this before I remove it, so I know what my base measurement was. I think I'm gonna call it for tonight though. It's sun's going down and I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go eat some food. See you tomorrow. So that's what is that, a track saw? Yeah, track saw. So you can do stuff like this. It's probably easier than the table saw for this kind of stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Safer. Yeah. Doesn't kick. Right. Table saws scare the crap out of me. He uses them. So yeah, we're cutting these replacement panels out, and then this is all loose. I just have to get these rivets knocked out. They're cut off, but like I said, these aren't quite the same length, so we got to figure out a height, and then we'll cut them to fit. Cordless grinders are cool. I cut that. There was edit. So there's a little screw in the corner here that I cut off. That was a pain in the butt. So I could get in here, and then I cut this fiberglass. I'm going to leave a little bit on the outside and have it overlap. I'll just cut this off. Not much integrity to that wall anymore. Got this piece out. You can see how structural that is still. Not. Same thing over here. Figure this out. Rotten. To clean this rust up a little bit. Got a little corrosion. Florida van, not a West Coast fan. Not bad though. Eventually I'm going to remove this step bumper, and then you can see this is a big piece of channel iron here, and it hangs down below the frame. And I want to kind of take all this off, and I want to make a bumper that's flush with just the bottom of the frame. So I was just going to pop this step off and just kind of assess what I'm dealing with here. Something to do, since I have this all apart anyways, and I can access this while the floor is not in here. I just kind of want to look at it and see what I'm dealing with. That's cool. So I pulled that plate off. I just stuck it over there. Yeah, there's like a piece of square tubing back here. So I could use that as a bumper. I can cut these off. This is channel here. Cut this channel off, cut this off, move this channel over. Probably should look at the camera. Move this channel over, and then you can see the end of the frame is right here. And then I could tuck that in the frame and have it, nice and tight, and have it so it's level with the bottom of this piece of trim, this trim plate right here. So that's an idea. I just kind of wanted to look at it while I was back here. So that's what I just did. la-di-da. So I took the taillight panel off to kind of take a better look at this. You can see how they welded this all together back here. Pretty interesting. They put an extra piece of channel on, extend the frame a tiny bit, support this last rail, I suppose, here. It's interesting how they make this box. They just make these rails, and wherever they need them, they just cut this with a torch. It's pretty homebrew, really. And then all these brackets welded in, so I'll cut all this shit off. We're gonna put a, well, maybe I'll tell you about that later, because that's a later video. But there's something else that's gonna go back here that'll be kind of cool. That's actually a little ways down the road, though. Cliffhanger. So, I started by cutting this panel out here because I found some rot. Well, that escalated into finding rot in this panel. And then that escalated to finding rot in this panel. And then that escalated into pulling the cover off the bumper. And that escalated into pulling the taillight panel. And now the whole back of the van is blown apart. And here is where I'm at. So anyways, snowball and fix. And a week later, I might have this done.